Hi again, and welcome back to the Living with Grace podcast. We are so excited and truly honored to be with you all here today. And I want to thank you for spending this time with us, truly. And I want you to go ahead and buckle up, fasten your seatbelt, put in those earbuds because we're taking an adventure today. I think it's going to be uplifting and so much fun. So let's just go ahead and dive in. So let me just welcome Anna into the conversation. Anna, welcome back. We are going to talk about authenticity today, talk about our souls, and let's just get started.
Hello, everyone. I am here in beautiful Brazil, South America. So you might listen to some birds chirping or some wind around me. And it's an amazing weather. And I am so very grateful to be here. And I am so very grateful to be with each one of you and my dear friend Mary, when we are going to talk to something so very important, which is what is the purpose that we are here in this life? What are we going to do to be the best version of ourselves, to connect with the goodness from our soul and the light of our hearts, and to just enjoy this adventure called life? And Mary and I, we have so many beautiful, like, insights and so very many very beautiful things and feelings and emotions to share with each one of you, for you to really enjoy your life and experiment it vibrantly and fully and wholeheartedly. Yes. I'm so happy to be here, Mary. Let's dive in.
For sure. And I'm just really excited about it because I think we're going to take lots of twists and turns, and I think they're all going to be really awesome and enlightening. So I guess the first thing that that I was thinking as I was kind of preparing for this and thinking about it is, why, have you ever wondered why we come here? Why am I here in this physical body? What am I actually doing here? And I've spent, to be honest, I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I've spent a lot of time thinking about it, even as a youngster, I've spent time thinking about this. And, I come down uh, on the, or to the conclusion that I came here to live life. I came here to experience life. I am a soul in a human body. I am a soul with a personality attached to it. I was born whole and complete. I'm a spark of the divine, and so are you. We came here whole, we came here complete, and we came here to experience duality. As a soul, we know only love, pure and unadulterated love. And as a human, we experience all the different things, all the dualities, black and white, good and bad, if you will, just all of the different opposites that allow us to know what joy is, what sadness is, all of the things. So we come here with that in mind, don't you think, Anna?
Yes. And I love that you're saying that we experience duality and that we are able, our body is able to feel all the different feelings and emotions, the sadness and the joy, because it's what it is, right? When we are born, we already know we're going to die. So the duality of life, it starts from the beginning, right? It's the duality of us being the eternal, immortal, infinite soul, divine light in the presence of God. And then as souls, we enter a body. So a duality, soul and body. And then we come here using this body as an instrument, as a vehicle, as a tool for our souls to express everything that we have from our goodness. Because Mary and I, we firmly believe that as souls, we are all goodness. We are all light. We have this unconditional love, and I'm even having goosebumps. We have this unconditional love, that it's love through actions. You know, we love each other because we are all similar as souls. In the soul world, there is no inferior and no superior. So, what we want to say today is how we can experience life as our souls in our bodies. How could we use our bodies to definitely know that we are everything that we need? We are everything that we might, encounter in the world of goodness. And we just have to dive deep and tap inside the power of our soul and tap inside our gifts and enjoy and just do it every day, a little bit here, a little bit there, and experiment in our body. What Mary is going to talk about, the feelings that are teaching us that we are experimenting the universal abundance of God, which are feelings of joy and gratitude and appreciation and generosity and everything that makes you smile, makes your heart smile. And when we are experimenting feelings that, okay, we have to stop here because this might be a different direction. And we are going to talk about that, which are the triggers. But first, I want Mary to keep talking because we are going to talk about the goodness and the feelings of goodness from our soul first, because that's where we want you to tap into, right? Yeah.
Yes, yep, absolutely. And the thing about it is, so, we're born whole and complete, and you can witness this, right? When you see a baby, you look into a baby's eyes, and you hear a baby's laugh. They are just pure joy. They are, they know that they are whole and complete. And as we begin this journey and get a little bit of time in this existence, we begin to learn that certain behavior, will get us certain rewards, as witnessed by, our Four Agreements podcast, and the book by Don Miguel Ruiz. But we become, what he calls domesticated. We learn to perform in order to get, to get the reward or the perception of love that we're looking for. So we somehow along the way, because we begin to perform and wear masks and behave differently with different people or in different situations, we forget that we're whole. And then we spend time seeking safety, seeking approval, seeking control. And that takes us away from who we really are. That misaligns our soul and our personality. That is the cause of our dis-ease, when we feel uncomfortable and we don't understand why. We kind of go through the motions and we become confused and we don't feel right. We feel out of sync with the world. And so I think the goal is to kind of find ways to realign ourselves. Go ahead, Anna. Did you want to jump in?
So I like what you said about the domestication Don Miguel Ruiz teaches in his courses and his books, like how we are born as our souls, and then our parents, the world keeps teaching us how to behave, to be accepted, to be seen, to be heard, to be valued, to be honored, to be loved. And all these be seen, heard, honored, loved, accepted are basic needs of us, basic needs of human beings. And that's why we start behaving according to, okay, this is the way I should behave with my parents. This is the way I should behave with my husband. This is the way I should behave with Mary. This is the way I should behave in my work. And at the end, at some point, you don't even know who you are anymore. And that's what Gary Zukav says. And I love this phrase so much. The longest journey you will have to travel is the journey back to your heart, because your heart is your soul, is your goodness, is who you are authentically, without any masks, without people pleasing, without like resentment, because people pleasing creates a lot of resentment and a lot of expectations. So the longest journey is the journey towards your heart, towards becoming authentic again, towards of unlearning the domestication. And that's what we want to discuss here, like the things that make you feel more connected with your soul, everything that brings you back to your origin, to your light, and how you could stop the pattern of acting, going through life in this standby mode of doing, achieving, behaving, and just start being. Just start expressing who you are. Just start smiling. Just start enjoying nature. Just start listening with the ear of your soul, feeling and seeing with the eyes and the heart of your soul. And it's really hard. And it's a daily exercise and it's a daily work. And, it's again what we have discussed before, being aware and pausing and connecting to your body and feeling the emotions and rephrasing and reframing. But although it seems hard and it seems to have different steps that you might have to be mindful in the beginning, then it's going to become a habit. It's going to become who you are. And you're going to really get to a point in your life that you're going to feel, you know what? I am doing and being. I am being what I'm doing and I am doing what I am being. I was able to connect my actions to my emotions, not to please others, but to love myself and express this love to others and to the universe, right?
Yeah. And you know what? That's where, for me, and I think everyone really, that's where you feel joy. That's where you feel just so much peace and love and comfort. So, and I agree. It is very hard. It's been very difficult for me. I got to be honest. When I reflect, over say my childhood and my life experience, I can absolutely see how, I mean, I use the barometer of other people's behavior, and I was a very good observer. So if I saw you would behave in a certain way and you did not get a favorable response, I would definitely adapt my behavior so that I would get
Yep.
the good response. And I think I was pretty good at it, actually. But it felt, I think when I think back on it too, there were some times when it really felt hollow, that to get the reward, but not to actually be myself, um, wasn't, it didn't feel awful, but it didn't feel good. And so I think that it's very easy for us to kind of go along that path. And then, the universe, God is very helpful, very loving, and he only wants, or the only want the best for us, only want us to come to realize why we came here and to have the experience that we came here for. So I think that the universe provides the opportunities for us. I think
Yes.
sometimes those are the jolts that we get. For instance, when someone we love has passed, that is a jolt. When we lose maybe our health or have a health challenge, that is a jolt. If you were to have a near death experience, it's a jolt. And
Yes.
we can be really stubborn, though. I think that we go, oh, that was a jolt, and, sometimes it can take, several of those sort of jolts to us for us to go, hey, wait a second, what's going on here? And then take the opportunity to begin to go deeper and to explore um, why we're hurting so much, and that just opens up so much.
And I like what you're talking about, these jokes, because it's what Zukav says as well, so well. It's like, make no mistake, if you do not pay attention to the first jolt, the second, the third, the fourth, they're going to get stronger and stronger, and it's going to hurt you and shake you even more. because the universe, God, the creator, the higher power, they want to catch our attention. They want to catch your attention. Hey, listen, this life, it's not for you to be here, to be good or to be bad for others. It's for you to feel peaceful, for you to spread love, for you to be love through you, you know? So, yes, the jokes are to catch our attention. And it is so good because we feel all these jolts in our body, right? We feel the good jolts, and we feel the peaceful jolts that are guiding and teaching us that we are walking the journey towards our heart in the proper direction. And we feel the jolts of, hey, that's no, that's not for you. And this is what Mary is going to talk about, like that it's the glimmers and the triggers, right? So the glimmers would be the joyful, peaceful, amazing jolts of the universe embracing us, hugging us, really making us feel like we belong, because we do belong. Like Mother Teresa says, we are a drop of water in the ocean. The ocean is the universe, and we are part of the universe. We are one with God. We are one with the divine. We are equals as souls. So the glimmers would be the jolts of you belong, and the triggers would be the jolts of what could you do here to just move with the lesson and learn and grow and evolve and shift that perspective and make this become a blessing, right? And one other thing that I really liked that Mary said about God wants us to just live the life and enjoy life is that um, God also wants us to be. He loves us exactly as we are. We are humans. We are not perfect. We are sinners, and we are going to make mistakes. And it does not matter for God. He still loves us exactly for who we are. It's not about the doing, it's not about appreciation. Yes, if you do better, you're going to enjoy life better. But that doesn't change the love that God has for us. And that's the love that Mary and I, we want you to connect into it, because this love of loving you exactly as you are, exactly as exactly where you are in your journey, is the love that your soul has for you, is the love from your soul. So it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, it doesn't matter who you are in your journey, it doesn't matter. You are exactly in the right place, the right position, the right time, the right location. You are exactly what you are supposed to be right now. So let's talk about how to enjoy that and how to feel the love from your soul, right? We are already talking about it, but like awareness and mindfulness and shifting and the glimmers and the triggers. But again, just say yes. Say yes to you, say yes to your life, and say yes to exploring day by day, releasing, detaching from the masks, from the performance. You don't need to be an actor in this life. You can just be you. And that's more than enough, because
Hmm.
you are more than enough, right?
Absolutely. And I think,
And the glimmers and the triggers will guide your way, right?
absolutely. And I'm getting to that too, just in this right now. But I want to say too that, we don't have to do anything. We don't have, we came into this world loved so magnificently, and we are beautiful and perfect and whole as souls. And I think that the universe or God really is just always trying to get our attention, to align our personality, to show, to say, I'm over here, because as I said a little bit ago, that is where we feel really good. That is where we feel whole, is when we are aligned with our soul, and when we are feeling our divinity, so to speak, when we are feeling the connection to our source. And so, yeah, so how do we do that? Yeah, I mean, so those are
Can I
all,
say just one thing?
of course.
I like you saying we don't have to do anything. And I'm just going to shift this phrase a little bit because I felt something in my heart. Because I also say you don't have to do anything, you have to just be. What I wanted to say is you don't have what I wanted to say from what I said and what I'm hearing. You don't have to do anything to be loved, to be accepted, to be valued, to be seen, to be honored. You have to be you, authentic, and have all this validation from your soul, from your body, from your heart, from your faith, from God, from the universe, not from external validation, other people. However, when you connect with the you are supposed to be, everything you're going to do will feel like I am in the right path. I am doing exactly what I am supposed to be doing with my life. I am doing my purpose. I am living my purpose. You know, if I would go away and pass on and die right now, I would be in peace because I am doing and being my soul daily. You know, I'm doing
My
my
God.
soul. I'm being my soul. Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying everything that is in my heart, and that is so true. You know, I am I am so connected to the divine when I am, for me, when I am in creativity. You know, the things that I do on social media, whatever, I do not do those for anyone. Yes, I want to help. I came here to experience life, to experience it all, to experience the journey. And I am so grateful that the longer I live, the more I am really easing into that. I don't have a destination necessarily in mind. I don't have a destination in mind. I am just enjoying the journey, even the uncomfortable parts of it, because I know that I came here for this. Listen, I don't say that easily, right? You know who I am. You know, if you're listening to this podcast, you know who I am. You know, I have a son in spirit. You know, my parents passed. You know, I lost 3 people in less than a year. But, you know, I came here to experience all of that. I deeply believe that. And, you know, I don't perform for anyone else, but sometimes I'll tell you, again, I'm just going to be really honest. When I watch some of the content that I've put up, say on social media, it makes me smile, not because I've got an ego. I see I see my soul there somewhere. Gosh, does that sound? I don't know how that will play in this podcast, but
That's,
I
yeah.
see, it's like I see me. It's like I see you, you know, and which brings
Yes.
me to another point, and then I'll let you jump in. Is just that we look for validation so often from other people. We, you know, we want so badly to be seen. And, you know, you and I have tried to see a lot of people through our grief journey. We walk with them. But at the end of the day, they're really, we can identify, we can empathize, but at the end of the day, there's only one other person on this earth who can see you, and that is you. And so when you're being authentic and living your uh, purpose, or, you know, doing, being aligned with divinity, you'll see that. You'll see that.
Yes. And I love what you're saying because the being becomes the doing becomes the being. There's no separation anymore because you're not pleasing anyone, but you are pleasing yourself. You are making yourself peaceful and happy and joyful. And that's interesting what you're talking about social media because I've never done social media before. I always loved talking. And I started doing social media because I wanted to speak from my heart again. And that's interesting because I think that 2 days ago I made a video and it was about missing and longing, but it was in Portuguese. And when I finished, I just watched it and I'm smiling and I smiled and I'm like, man, I can see this person. I can see what she's feeling, almost like as if I am a different person. I can see what she's feeling. I can see the love in my words, because I was
Yes,
talking about, yeah,
I'm so glad you
I was
said
talking.
that.
Yes, I was talking about my grandma. I was talking about my mom, my dad, my Gilson, who are all in heaven. And I again, I'm having goosebumps. But I could feel my love in my words as if I was a different person. And I was happy because that was exactly what I wanted to do. I want my love to resonate with other people. I want, it doesn't matter if it's one, two, or zero, it's already resonating with me.
Right.
And one other thing that I love is because I'm 53 years old and I have been my worst criticizing friend or enemy or frenemy ever, because I always wanted to be A plus. Again, the people pleasing. I want to be loved. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I do not want to be abandoned. So I have always been my worst criticist. I don't know, the critical person. And right now, I am in a phase in my life, and it took, again, it's an exercise, it's a daily exercise that started for me in 2016, 2017, after the death of my Gilson. And so, like 7 years, 8 years that I'm doing this, I'm practicing this, I'm really putting work on this because that's the life I want and that's the life I deserve. So now, and that's what I want you guys, and Mary wants you, each one of you, when you tap into the power of your soul, you're going to live the life you want, the life you need, but mainly the life you deserve. Because the best thing I feel right now is, first of all, when I can talk and have this energy, right? The energy of love. And second is when I look in the mirror and I am able to look at me and say, you know what, lady? I love you. I love you with your cellulite. I love you with your visceral fat, although we are burning it. I love you with your muscles that are not very lean yet. But I love you, and I love you. Not but, and I love you. And again, I'm having goosebumps because I have never done this in my whole life. I have never done this in my whole life. I was always like, oh, my math grade was A, could have been A plus. Oh, I got to med school and I am third place, could have been first. Oh, so and now, no, I am like, man, I am so proud of me. I am so happy because I am aligning with my soul. I am aligning my personality with my soul, which is what we're talking about here. I am feeling in my body what is peaceful, what is joyful, what is fear, what is not, doesn't feel good, it's icky. And I am releasing and I am evaluating and walking through it. And I am just, again, being what I'm doing and doing what I'm being, walking the talk, talking the walk, right? And that's what we're gonna talk. That's not what we're gonna talk. That's what we are talking about, right? And that's what we want for you, to be whole. This sensation, this feeling of being whole, like looking in your mirror and looking and seeing you and looking and seeing your core, seeing your heart, seeing your why. Why am I here? I am here to be joyful. Like the Bible says, this is the day for us to rejoice in it. Every day is a day for you to rejoice in it. It does not matter what is happening on the outside, because life is happening for you. Even when your husband dies, like my husband died, even when your son dies, like Brian, Mary's son, died. Life is happening for you. And there is a way. Trust me, it's painful, it's work, but there is a way to find joy, to build joy, to rejoice with your life. Not despite of what happened, but because of what happened. The glimmers, the triggers, and life, the whole life, the whole life. And if you close your eyes right now, you would just close your eyes and have a smile in your mouth and say, God, I did it, I did what you wanted me to do. Yes.
Absolutely. When you surrender to, and, people, the word surrender can be misunderstood. It's like when you close your eyes and you say, God, I did it, or, I gave this, I, I allow, I am allowing life to happen. What would happen to you who is listening or watching? What would happen if you could let go of some of the masks or stop performing for other people? What if you could let go of that kind of fear and be fearlessly and authentically you, little by little? What would happen? I'll tell you what would happen. I think that so much fear of the unknown and the need to have control or seek approval or feel the safety from other people would disappear. And I think that, as we were talking, I am not afraid of death. I'm not afraid to die. I think you said, I'm not sure if I said that yet. I'm not afraid to die because I uh, I feel so connected to, most of the time, I'm not perfect, and so I'm not, the human perception, will just don't want to be disingenuous here. Human perception is human perception. It will try to, confuse you from time to time. But I am not, generally speaking, I am not afraid because I have connected to my soul. I try to stay connected to my soul. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. I promise. I'm getting there. But I'm not afraid of death because I know my soul goes on. I know that I am doing all I can while I'm here to be who I came here to be, live what I came here to live, help whomever I can along the way, follow the light, be the light. I came here for all of those things, and I'm doing that. So I don't fear what's coming, what is on the other side. I don't fear that at all. I don't want any pain associated with it, I'll be honest. But I'm not, even that, I'm not really totally afraid of, because I know that that's short-lived. Um, but before I jump into how we actually can connect, real uh, real ways to connect with our soul, Anna, what would you like to say? Anything?
Just like I love the mix of letters that I hear people talking. So again, life is making your mess your message, making fear become your leap of faith. And I love that, I just, yeah. And I love that idea of that poem, that we are all in a big boat, and we are in this journey of life. And when we say goodbye, the boat from the person we are saying goodbye and is going away to heaven is going away. Our shore is not seeing that person, but the shore in the other
Island, maybe? Or
yeah, in heaven, they are seeing, and they are gonna say, hey, we are here, and we're gonna all reconnect. And Mary and I heard a podcast this week, and I loved what the doctor said, a doctor from Harvard. He said, instead of talking about death, it's really a rebirth. You're right. It's like when you could be dying from the environment of being in your mom's womb, and then suddenly you are born for the world we have right now. And then we are going to die for this world we have right now, and we are going to rebirth right in heaven with God. And what is the link and unchangeable is our soul. Our soul is the soul that is coming to this life. Our soul is the soul connected to God and the universe. Our soul is the soul inside your mom's womb that gets a rebirth to this body in this world, and then also releases this body in gratitude and goes to the next session, right? Of our life. Yeah.
Yeah, and can I embellish on that picture you painted? Because I feel like either I've read it, seen it, or heard it before. And this is what, as you were talking about the person going off in the boat, and let's just say that people are standing on the shore, kind of waving and saying goodbye and feeling solemn and feeling sad, right? And they're waving. And then they're waving. I'm waving if you can't, I mean, for those who are listening, and
Yep.
you're waving. And then the boat drifts further and further and further over the horizon. And then say, in heaven, there are these spirits standing on the shore, and they're like, there you are. And they
Yep.
start waving. They're like excited, and the boat's drifting closer and closer. And they're jumping up and down. And it just got such a beautiful visual. I just couldn't help it.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
So, okay, let me give you some tangible ways that can help you to stay connected to your soul, or to have moments where you feel totally aligned, in those beautiful moments that you can hopefully begin to really tune into, so that you can capture more and more of them and bring them forward with you, and expand them, and hold on to them a little bit longer. Okay, there'll be no surprise here. One of them is gratitude. Gratitude is always number one on the list, is always there to help us to feel connected with abundance, and to help us feel aligned with our soul. Right, Anna? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. No,
Gratitude
no
connects us
surprise.
with our. Yeah.
Yep.
We did a full podcast on gratitude and it is amazing. So, if you would like to hear a little bit more about the science behind gratitude, you could check that. And because it's very good for mental health and physical health. But again, yes, and connecting to your soul. Go ahead, Mary, because
Right.
I'm looking forward to listen to all your tips because they
Okay.
are amazing.
Well, none of them will be very surprising for you, I'm pretty sure. But the second one, that also is one that you use and have taught us on the podcast to utilize, is breath work. Breath work helps us to connect to our soul. It definitely, brings us calmness, and I don't know if that's vagus nerve. I think it is. That helps our vagus nerve, calms us, takes us out of flight and fight, and and calms our parasympathetic nervous system. I think I got that right.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, she's saying correctly. The vagus nerve techniques of breathing that Mary also taught us, both of us in the prior episodes, is like calms you down, decreases the alarm mode of life that we are so stressed all the time, and brings you to a more centered and more inner peace. And my God, you only need like not even 3 minutes. If you stop for 30 seconds, you are already able to activate by breathing your diaphragm and your vagus nerve and your parasympathetic system, which is what brings you to a calm, mindful, peaceful Zen mode. Yes.
Love it. Yes. Yep. And then meditation. We did a whole podcast on mindfulness. And so mindfulness, and we did mention meditation in that podcast. So meditation and stillness really can help you to align with your soul, and feel that peacefulness too. And
And
the
again, just a little bit.
Mhm.
When I used to listen the word meditation, I would like, oh man, this is not for me. This is not for me. And now, after I did some research and I've learned with Mary too, there are many different kinds of meditation. So you have to check what kind could be useful for you, because it is a tool that definitely improves your focus, your attention, your memory, your peace, your calm, and your productivity, everything, and really connects to your soul. And what I really want to say, there are many different kinds of meditation. And it's not only like closing your eyes and trying not to think. That's not meditation. And we talked about this. So if you are listening to this podcast and you think, nah, meditation is not for me like I used to, um, go check it, because it has been a life-changing tool and resource for me as well, when I've learned the kinds of meditation that would work for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. And it's so true. And I started traditionally with meditation, but I just love the different variations that there are. And there's really, honestly, I can't emphasize it enough. There's something for virtually everyone, and it doesn't have to take a long time. So please do investigate that. Um, the next one, which is one that I love also, is being in nature, observing nature. Oh, it just makes my heart full thinking of it. But I think that anyone who spends time in nature, it's what's the word? I don't want to say addicting, but you just want more of it, don't you? You really do.
You start craving it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So nature.
Yes. And being in nature has so many different ways, again, that you could be in nature. You could be like walking and enjoying the sun, and you are in nature. You could just sit and enjoy a place that has water and or greens or a park, or yeah, it's, you could just take your shoes off and be barefoot on your own yard and enjoy releasing the energy and connecting to the energy of earth. You could hug a tree. You could, and she's going to talk about
I
things
have.
like you could be, yeah, yes, you could be looking at the sunset and the sunrise. You could just go outside when it's raining and behave as if you are a child, and then just get a rain shower. I did the other day, and it was so
Did
cool
you?
because it was the winter.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I haven't done
Yeah.
that in years. I need to. But that's a great segue into the next one I want to discuss. And, some of you may not have heard of it before, but it's this concept or this notion of something called a glimmer, Glimmer. It's kind of been circulating a little bit on social media, but I love this concept of a glimmer because I'm going to kind of explain it in depth here, not too deep, but I'm going to explain it further, and you'll see how it dovetails or how it connects to gratitude, but it's different than gratitude. There's a slight variation to it, but glimmers, and I'm going to read a little bit of this though. Glimmers are the exact opposite of triggers. It is some kind of cue, either internal or external, that brings one back to a sense of joy or safety. Haven't we been talking about safety and alignment? So you can see how that aligns with your soul. This can be anything from catching a view of the skyline of your favorite city or seeing a picture of your pet. It is connected to the vagus nerve. So again, a glimmer will activate the parasympathetic system, whereas triggers will put you in flight or flight. It's just, think about something that is triggering. It is the exact opposite. Glimmer is the exact opposite of that. And some common glimmers, and then I'm going to throw it over to you, Anna, but common glimmers are the feeling of the warmth of the sun, maybe sensing the salty ocean air, the smell of cut grass, seeing a rainbow. Can you not just even feel that? That's different from gratitude, because you can be grateful for seeing a rainbow, but when you actually envision yourself gazing at a rainbow, you feel this feeling deep in your heart. Sunlight sparkling on the water is a beautiful glimmer. Petting your dog or cat, being in nature, the perfect cup of coffee. I liked that one too. But so glimmers are this internal or external feeling, different from gratitude, but you feel it. You feel a connection to your soul.
Yes. I would add hugging, holding hands, celebrating your small wins, not taking your small wins for granted, because again, being grateful for your small wins is different from celebrating your small wins. No, even if it's by hugging yourself or giving yourself a smile, looking in the mirror and giving yourself a high five, you did it. And I love this word, and I have to confess that this is the first time I'm hearing about the glimmer idea and concept. And Mary told me a little bit before our podcast, but it's the first time. I always heard about triggers, of course, right? Because I used to be the critical person. So of course the triggers are always in my radar. But glimmer, and I love it because I use this analogy in my head all the time, like a glimmer of light, right? I used to say just a flicker. I say a flicker, but just a flicker of light is enough to light the whole room. And I was listening to someone once saying, you don't have to see the whole room or all the road you're going to be walking, if especially if it's dark. You don't even
Mm.
need to see the light in the end of the tunnel. You only need a glimmer, a flicker of light, so you could see where you're going to put your foot next, the next step, the next step, the next step. And that's what we are inviting you to use, the glimmers, the feelings that you have in your body, the goodness from the world, bringing the feelings of joy and peace and, calm and everything that, Mary was talking, and we could feel the energy in her voice way softer, and I was smiling, and then I realized I'm smiling because she was talking about the glimmers, and I am envisioning in my brain the rainbow. I didn't even have to see the rainbow. I was just envisioning the rainbow, and I was already smiling because this is a glimmer. So I am inviting you, we are inviting you to just let these glimmers, these flickers of light, to guide you to connect with your soul more and more and more at each day, at each time. Because by practicing these glimmers, bringing these glimmers to your routine, by practicing that is when you're going to be doing the work that you're going to look in your mirror and you're going to be proud of you and you're going to feel love for you. If you are not feeling that yet, yet. I love the power of the word yet. It's
Oh,
also a glimmer.
I have that written down in my journal. I was just revisiting that yesterday, Anna. I felt like that's a podcast, but anyway, I
Yep. Yeah,
digress.
yeah. Then we're gonna talk about yet because, oh my dear, yet. What a powerful word, I
Word.
have not gotten there yet. I am not loving myself enough yet. But you know what? It's
So
yet. You are
hopeful.
doing the work. You are doing the work. And again, you don't have to do it as A plus, you know. Yet also reminds me that I am not perfect. I don't need to be perfect. And yet I am already feeling good with my soul. Because you know what? When I die, right now, if I would die right now, and that's what my invitation for each one of you, even if I am giving me a C minus because I am I have a personality of being perfectionist and I'm working on that, even if I give myself a C minus, God has already given me an A plus a long time ago through Christ. So you know what? We are A plus. We just have to bring the glimmers and give one step at a time to be A plus, not by doing, but by being. And I love the idea of the glimmers and one step at a time, ladies or gentlemen, whoever, one step at a time.
I couldn't love
Yes.
that anymore, Anna, because there was a time when I was in deep sorrow or grief, and I used one of my mantras was just give me enough light to see my next step. Please, dear God, just give
Wow.
me
See?
enough light to see my next step. And that's never left me. And so I think as we begin to wrap up, I think that, you know, uh, my wish, and I am sure Anna's wish for each one of you listening, is that some of what we've imparted during this episode will give you the hope or the desire to get to know yourself a little bit better so that you can fall deeply in love with yourself as you connect to your soul. And so that and by doing that, that you don't need to perform, you don't need to wear the mask, you can be authentically you and who you came here to be. You know, the number one regret of the dying is that they spent so much time wearing a mask and performing for others that they didn't spend enough time being who they were, doing what they wanted to do, but living their lives for other people. And, you know, my hope and wish and prayer for you is that you live your life now, and that you live fearlessly and authentically you, um, you know, without approval, and just for the sheer enjoyment of living this life and enjoying the ride. So
Yeah. Use your body. Use your body again to travel towards your heart. Your heart knows the way. Your heart is your light, the light of your soul. Use your body. Your body will allow you to feel when you are aligned with your soul, when you are using your glimmers, the glimmers from your heart, and also when you are not aligned with your soul. So, whenever you don't feel right in your body, pause for a minute, pause for a second, and just see, is there a mask that I'm using? What approval am I seeking here? And just go back to your heart. Just do the work at that moment and go back to your heart. And by doing it 1, 2, 3, 10 times, a million times, you're going to be really expressing your soul. So use your body, be the light of your soul. And my wish for you, our wish for you, is that whenever your life in this body ends, you are going to be able, I am going to be able to release my body in gratitude and say, thank you, body. Thank you, instrument. You know, I am going back home in my soul. And when I get there, I'm going to look at God and said, I used all the gifts. I did all I had the opportunities to do for goodness for me. Because when I am doing goodness for me, then I become a ripple effect and I overflow goodness to others. And that's our wish. So then when you are going home, you're not going to have any of these regrets. You are not going to have fear. You're not going to have, you're just going to be your soul and fly, fly back home. Yes.
that's right.
And by doing that, the only way to do that is doing the work. It's putting the work because again, God doesn't said has not said it was going to be easy. He said he would be here with us, holding our hands for us to be living.
With grace. And
Amen.
remember, you have everything you need. You are whole. You were born whole, and you will leave this world whole. And so until next time, we love you so much, and we are so grateful and thankful that you chose to spend this time with us. Take good care, and we will be back really soon. Bye bye.